see. I think it's in the kitchen.
Oh, okay.
Howdy, howdy.
Howdy, howdy.
What's up, everybody?
Are we on?
Yep, we're on. Welcome to
Pressing
COZSNUG.
everything else?
Yeah, that's fine.
Can we snuggle up together?
Yeah, I'll be in a minute, okay?
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. Sounds good. Welcome to COZSNUG. What are we talking about tonight? Do you have that new list of questions,
Yeah,
Ash? Let's come up with it. Well, we had so many new good questions. How's everybody been all week?
Very good.
Been alright.
And, working with Carly, does a lot. Just hanging out with her a lot, helping her. That's been really nice.
Nice.
You know, I've had a good last couple of days.
Yes. Quite magical. Questions to empower our empathy. We've empowered our empathy a lot with each other, you guys. I'm thinking I'm probably getting pretty close to being able to call you guys really good friends.
I agree.
Like, pretty close to really calling you like a semi-decent friend. Like, just a mediocre friend.
Oh. My heart hurts.
Being facetious, obviously, as we have become such besties, all of us. So
Oh,
awesome.
this is perfect. Can you describe a time when you had to forgive someone or seek forgiveness?
Oh,
How did it
my.
impact your relationship?
Please, thank you. So good. Oh, so beautiful.
Both of those. Seeking forgiveness and
Hard one. Can't think of anything at the moment. Gonna have to pull deep. That is a good question.
It's a good question.
So powerful.
Yeah.
I have so many things I could say right now. I'm just trying not to. I could talk the whole entire time myself.
You start. You got something.
I don't want to talk yet. I want to let it mature for a second, but I have lots that I could say about this topic, particularly today.
I guess I'll start. So forgiving somebody, when I was a senior in high school, my friends and I basically broke and entered into the high school, but we didn't break anything because we used the keys.
Yeah.
So we gained access to the main high school, but we had a little building off to the side.
We didn't do the breaking part, but we did the entering.
Yes, yes.
We agree.
And we went into the ancillary building. It was called the Academy building. And we went in there, and one of the people we were with, he broke the door down, so I guess we did break that. He did, specifically. We got in there, and it was the cheerleaders' like room in HQ or whatever. And so we're all just snoping around, snooping, and I think it was him grabbed the camcorder. Yeah, camcorder, woo! So stole a camcorder, and then we gained access to the gym, to the main school, but we couldn't get past the main doors. Found some keys, got into the main high school, and then my other friends took some stuff, but I didn't take anything. I was just there to go and try to find the underground passages that we'd heard rumors of. But the person, long story short, the person that broke the door down to get the camcorder, I don't know if he was sent there to do that or if he just ratted us all out to get himself off of probation quicker, but he ratted us all out. And eventually we all got picked up by the cops and had to deal with that. And I was on probation for that, and I got the worst. Is strange. I got the worst when I did the least, and I was on my way to college. So I think the judge tried to punish me in some way. It is weird. But when I had moved down to Phoenix to go to college, the kid that knocked us all out, since I believe in giving people second chances, he hit me up on MSN Messenger and was talking to me and whatever, I'll give people second chances. Well, then the next thing I know, my friend's girlfriend at the time hit me up on AOL Instant Messenger. Oh, I feel so old right now. But anyways, she told me that dude's sitting there telling everybody that I confessed to ratting everybody out and that he has the picture evidence to prove it. And I was blown away. I'm like, really? What? I'm going to school for this. Like, I know how easy it is to doctor photos. Like, what? No, dude's lying. And so for years and years, I held on to that and was like, oh, if I ever see him, I'm going to boot stomp him, screw that guy. But he eventually went to prison, I think, for meth or crack or something, and I think statutory rape of a minor. So, but there was a few of the kids, the people my age, that got in trouble for that. There's a weird theory that the cops would specifically pick certain girls to target the dudes and get statutory rape charges to basically get them into the system.
Oh.
Is the theory that a lot of the people in my hometown have. Who knows if that's true, but there's a lot of coincidence to that. But anyways, Jared, he went away to prison and stuff, and so I decided there's no sense in holding on to my resentment for what he tried to do. He tried to take all my friends away. It's whatever. So I had to learn how to be able to forgive him. Like, to this, I don't care. He's insignificant to my life. I really don't even think about him. That's why I had such a hard time coming up with something tonight. Is for me, I'm kind of like, okay, I forgive and move on, and it's water under the bridge, and I don't even really remember it. So this one specifically I remember because he tried to get all my friends to hate me, and one of them stopped talking to me after that. And it's whatever. He has multiple DUIs, so he's doing his own thing in life. But yeah, that was probably, out of all the times I can think of, the hardest to forgive because of how talked so much shit to all my friends behind my back, and I wasn't there to defend myself.
Right.
So
Understandable.
because I was in Arizona going to school trying to better my life.
Right. Yeah, that would have been tough to deal with. I've dealt with similar types of things.
Yep. So that's my story of the evening.
Thank you for sharing that, buddy.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Do you feel like you're all the way past it? I mean, it doesn't seem like you're haunted by that now in the way you live your life.
No, it's being with Brenda's really helped out because she's given me perspective of friends come and go. Not all friends are there are meant to be forever. Because I still have a friend. He's pretty much my best friend from high school, and he's the only one from high school that I'm still friends with. One of my other really good friends got deported because he was dumb and was messing around with a minor. He was an illegal, so they deported his ass back to Mexico.
Wow.
So I get it. He was lonely, and Utah's full of racists. He's Mexican, so it's hard to find somebody that'll accept him, would accept him at the time. So he was over 18 and she was, I think, 14. I don't know. So
So
it is tough. Like, I can empathize, and I prefer the word empathy over sympathy. We're empowering empathy.
that's right.
So I can empathize. I've made mistakes in my life. So wouldn't be fair for me to judge him in any way. I judge my brother in ways because he did some stupid stuff too, but that's another story for another time. I don't want to bring that energy here.
No, that's fine. That's fine whenever you want to. Are you thinking of something already, Ash?
Sure, yeah, I've got one. It's fairly recent in my life. I forgive someone. A friend named Troy, who we were talking to for a while. You know, we were hanging out with him every so often. He would hang out in Salt Lake, the drum circle sometimes. And eventually, we ended up having a dispute with money. You know, I gave him some money to get me something, and he lost the money. And he ended up going for, you know, this happened, and he just didn't, he's kind of stopped talking to me. And I thought he was, at first I was like, oh, you know, he's offended, he's worried I'm mad at him or something. But when he finally came back, he just started being really angry at me. Really fucking just, you're awful, all your friends are awful, you're all doing awful shit in your life, all of your lives are on the way. And, you know, I'm just talking to him because I liked him. I didn't have any problems with him. I really thought I was getting a deep relationship with him. So, you know, I just kept talking to him for like months, probably six plus months. I talked to him while he was just horribly just throwing anger at me every day. There was a point where he was like, I'm going to come to your house and I'm going to beat your family up, beat your dad up. Because he just hated everyone. He was going off on every person I knew. And it was just bad at one point. It was like, and I knew he wasn't going to do anything, but I knew he was intentionally doing it to try to cause emotional harm to me.
Yeah.
And I was really mad about that for a long time. I was just like, why, for all this, you know, I didn't really feel like I had intentionally, you know, yeah, I had like, we had some friction in our relationship, but it was never anything like I was ever having any kind of poor intention towards him. So I really was like, where is all this coming from? And, you know, I really still don't think the root was it. I think the root was in stuff he was going through and what he wanted.
Good possibility.
But yeah, I really had to learn to forgive him, be okay with that energy being in the world because it was at me and there's nothing I could do about it. And I had to come to terms with that so that I could respond to that situation more appropriately.
How's it impacting your life right now, Ash?
Right now, I think it's given me a lot of bandwidth, the sense of, you know, you can love, you know, it is a great quote from the Bible, you know, and you all, you know, even sinners love their friends, but, you know, it's hard to love your enemies.
It's very true.
That's kind of how I felt about it.
Understandable. Thanks for saying that, buddy.
Since you've forgiven him, have you talked to him at all? Or?
I've talked to him every so often, and he sent back a couple pictures. It's cool, like he sends me like art and stuff every so often, but like I don't really talk to him too much these days because I think his anger's kind of subsided, and you know we're not in the same area.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Carly, we're
Sorry,
You're fine.
I'm struggling.
We're talking tonight. If you want to think about this, our question we're talking about tonight is: can you describe a time when you had to forgive someone or seek forgiveness, and how did it impact your relationship?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty deep question. I know.
Yeah. There's
that's
maybe
easy.
one back there in my past.
Well, one in particular, y'all know about my motherfucking Terry, my mother. And you know what? Today, why I played live on Instagram today was to send her a message, actually. Oh, so I played a little song by Lil Peep. Can I play it in the background while I talk about it?
No, because it does. It'll kick us off the video. The video won't go live on YouTube. It will stop us.
Yeah.
Because of the
Can I play
copyright.
music on my phone?
Yeah,
Mhm.
AI bots
It'll
will straight up pick it up and copyright strike the live stream.
Yeah, they've already done it with us.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
The stupid robots on YouTube.
Yeah, it's totally.
Okay. So, I'll just sing it then. So Lil Peep made this song called 16 Lines, and it's about doing 16 lines of cocaine to feel okay. I wasn't into cocaine, more like 16 shots for me.
Just the vibe.
The vibe. So his thing was cocaine, and he passed away, I think when he was like 27, like he was a musician.
Oh, wow.
An overdose in his motherfucking trailer. And I believe he was also molested by his birth mother because his songs, his albums speak exactly what I've been through. 16 lines to make me feel fine. I've been on my own since I was 9. My mother stopped molesting me when I was 9. Well, 10. It's when you get you're becoming a woman. So I believe like Lil Peep was speaking to me this past week through the heavens, like saying, hey, I get you, girl. Listen to my music and create music, and let's show the world, what can happen in your own motherfucking homes. And Terry, I do love her. Like, actually, I looked up the name Terry the other day. I'm like, I liked what you said. Like, we're not our names. Like, we're much more than just our names. But it was spiritual in a way for me to look up what her name meant, because her family is from Germany. So I was named after great grandpa Karl, who's from Germany. It's called Almendingen in Germany. Almendingen, Germany. And their names are Almendingers. And for a while, when my grandpa passed away last week, I thought, damn, were they Nazis? Like, were they, like, actually fucking evil? But I think the Almendingers had a lot of fear in them. So great-grandpa Karl, I think he was actually a really good man. He just had a lot of fears, probably from growing up in Germany. And, having to survive the environment. I looked up Almendingen. It's actually a really cute little town, I think. Like, I need to look up more pictures, but, like... Anyways, I was named after... So, great-grandpa Karl passed, like, on October, the month before I was born, on his anniversary, January 31st. This is his ring. And I was named after his wife, Myrna Elizabeth. That's my middle name. Carly. Carl is after, Anyways, Terry also could be Mother... It could be Teresa. Mother Teresa. It could be Mother Earth. And I do feel like I was raised by beautiful Terry, Mother Teresa. But I also feel like she has flipped personalities when she lets herself be consumed by her own predators. She was molested as a kid too. It just wasn't me. And, there's a lot of drugs around and a lot of men, and who knows what the fuck happened. And so I forgave her by playing that piece today, saying, I look at you more as Mother Teresa. I look at you as Terry Lynn Almendinger, a beautiful mother of mine who raised me, but also, was consumed by her predators. And that is Terrell. Terrell means, I believe she was named after her father, Daryl. Terrell means power-hungry woman. Like, since she felt so disempowered at times when she would be consumed by her predators, she would feed on my energy and take my energy. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being willing to share all that, Carly. Wow.
Yeah, thank you.
So it's been a
So
healing
happy
journey,
for
and
you.
like playing that piece for my mother today, I was like speaking with Lil Peep, like 16 lines to make me feel fine. Who are you gonna fuck when I die? If you fuck somebody like in heaven, can I come? Will you cry? Like, it's just so fucking complicated. In a way, so, but Lil Peep, finally, I was like, that's why I've been listening to your album. It finally makes sense to me.
Right.
I'm not crazy. This is my truth.
Thank Thank you so much, Carly. Thank you.
Thank
For
you.
being able to be vulnerable
For
and
being on this
authentic.
journey with me.
You've added so much value to my life, Carly, and all of us. But I'm just, wow, you're going through a lot right there, girl. Thank you.
But I
for
see
being
now, there was lots of moments of Mother Teresa and playing in the gardens, and I see that now. So I'm just going to let Terrell go, and I hope Terry does too.
Nice. Well, you're so beautiful. Thank you. That just sounds so doable, and I have already seen you do this with so many things, so wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. And I went to try to file a case on an officer this morning that assaulted me, and the sergeant was like, "What do you mean my officer assaulted you?" And I was like, "I just told you what happened." And he said, "I'm confused." And I said, "I'll be, peace out. Let God let go. You're a Freemason, you're going to protect your brothers, your officers, go for it."
Right.
Ogden PD. I'm okay now. I don't need to fight the cops anymore.
Wow.
I'm a survivor!
Yes, you
And I play the motherfucking harp!
Yes, you do, and I played that motherfucking harp.
And I got Detective Rapp if I need him on my case 22-23229. Look it up, bitches. Cops. It was filed a year ago in August. Why are the counties not connected? That's how Ted Bundy murdered women!
Yep.
Did we not learn in the 1970s?
Nope.
Oh my god. It's because they want they want to create a system where that's safe for them to continue to do. I believe.
Well, it's certainly a lot easier to hide things if everyone's not completely connected and not always sharing all their papers and
Yep.
stuff.
Very
Certainly,
true.
sure.
Certainly.
Very true.
Mm-hmm.
That reminds me of a time
Oh.
my old Saturn car had a wonky light in the front. A cop pulled me over, and all of a sudden another cop came behind him, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" This is up in Preston, Idaho. I'm like,
What?
"Oh my god!"
Oh my god, Idaho, fuck.
And I had a little bubbler in my console right there that I covered with a little cup. I'm like, "Oh my god!" So I pulled into the thing, and I hurried and hopped out and was jiggling around with it so they could tell that I knew it was messed up.
Oh my.
And the cop was like, I really wish that all the states were connected so we could see if there's any outstanding warrants. I'm just like,
Fuck.
I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, yeah, that would be nice, huh? Or something like that. And it's just like, bro.
That's,
Bro.
wow, that's just like,
Wait, he said your
much-
lights were
how
out?
much I get
Yeah.
He said, what did he say your lights were out?
Well, my front light was, my light when it would hit bumps it'd go out, so I technically had a light out, and I told him, I'm like, it was working, so I sat there
Yeah, you're
and
trying to
jiggled
look
with
at the
it.
wires
I
together.
finally got the damn thing to work, and he's
Oh
like,
my
okay, and
God.
that's when he said that. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
Fuck.
I'm like, yeah, that sounds like something fucking Preston cops would say.
Yeah.
That's exactly, yep, I'm back home.
Oh
Yep.
my god. That's where you were raised?
In Preston, yeah.
Oh, I see. I don't think you're nothing like a Preston, Idahoan, in my opinion, but
Neither is Lincoln.
he's from Preston, Idaho?
Yeah. That's right.
Wow, some spiritual beings born in Preston.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've been so judgy so long.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, you're not wrong. It is there so they can hide things more, but at the same time, there's people
Yeah.
like that guy that want it all to be
I bet
connected.
it's just more like all the systems are set up
Oh.
on technology, so they
Yeah.
just haven't updated to be that connected.
That's exactly what it is. The government runs on 50-year-old.
Yeah, it's never. I don't think that's on purpose.
On what?
50-year-old technology at least.
What's that?
Old.
Oh, 50-year-old.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Our government
especially in the
today.
Yeah, 'cause you
Especially
have
in-
the millions of papers of bureaucrity that you were doing on paper and handwritten for so long. Then you switch over to, computers at all. You have that. You have 1980s software. That software, a lot of the time doesn't go very well to try to make it into a new operating system or try to remake it. Sometimes doesn't work at all.
Yeah, so like it was either Department of Defense or the Pentagon, all their technologies from the 70s. So the military, I think it was either, so like the two really big institutions in our country are running on 1970s tech.
Yeah, they're still using some of the new tech, but so much of our stuff is old.
On old.
Yep.
To keep the records?
Yep.
It's just to keep it working.
Keep it working.
If they could
The
replace it,
system falls apart too fast if you have to like do
If
a
you replace
technology
all the
switch over.
technology at once.
Well,
Like
it's
everybody
like,
has to lose their jobs for 6 months,
so
a
think
year.
think about this.
Never thought about it.
The International Space Station. So think about this. The International Space Station, they used to run Microsoft Windows, and they moved away from that because it would crash so much, and they moved to what's called Linux. But think about it. Windows would crash so much in space. You can't have a system crashing in space. So they moved away from Windows and Microsoft because their shit's inefficient.
That's hilarious!
We only have track of the ship every so often, guys.
We are in the universe. We are.
Don't get me
planet
wrong.
Earth.
A lot of the systems on the International Space Station are like real-time systems, so they don't need that event-driven operating system. But in the parts that they do, Microsoft was always glitching and breaking. And like the thing is, Linux, that's built off of old tech as well, like 70s. It's off of programming language called C. And so like Windows is so weird. The people couldn't write the C to make it work with the Windows. They'd have to do all these hacks. Where with Linux, it's literally, it's open system, the kernel. Okay, it works. And so, yeah, I'm sure the government runs on Windows too. Because that's what Microsoft did. They invaded the world with their product.
Oh my god.
And so, yeah, like, it's wonky that the world's best military is run on old-ass technology.
One time when I saw the Elon Musk
Starlink?
satellites.
Mhm.
So I didn't even know that was a thing, and I was in the hot springs with my best friend Noah in Garden Valley, Idaho, outside of Boise and R, up in the canyons, and we just like are chilling. We're probably like on mushrooms, like a little drunk on agave. Ate the worm. We're like, let's go to the hot springs. And I like didn't even know that was a thing, and then I see it, and I'm like, is this aliens? He's like, it's Elon Musk! And I'm like,
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
that's where, the same place I saw the solar eclipse.
Cool.
Cool.
The last one that happened?
In Idaho?
Yeah.
Was that solar eclipse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was up in Twin Falls. That's where I saw it from. I drove up. It was me and my girlfriend. We drove up there. It was cool. It was really cool to feel the temperature drop from the shadow of the moon over the sun or whatever it was. Yeah, it's the moon over the sun.
What part of Idaho did you go to?
Twin Falls. Oh no, not Twin Falls. Sorry, Idaho Falls.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was crazy. We were sitting there and it went dark and it's like, oh, it's a bit cold now. Holy shit.
Yeah. It
And
was,
then it
you were
went
there
back.
with me.
What's that?
You were there with me.
In the general area, yeah.
I was up in Oregon for that. Right direct line, perfect. Like we got the full deal, yeah. So cool.
Yeah,
Oregon.
So surreal.
We drove
yeah.
up to the Idaho Falls area to get as close as we could. Oh man, we went up and there was a line of cars couldn't see, and I'm like, taking this road. We went off on this side road and went out in the middle of a field.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, this is good enough. And then nobody was around. Some old farmer came up. Y'all doing good? Yeah, we're just here for the eclipse. If that's all right. Oh yeah, just making sure you're not broke down. Have a good day.
Nice.
I'm like, yeah,
Nice guy.
That's Idaho
So nice.
farmers for you. So yeah, that was a nifty experience. The feeling the eclipse, like just the temperature drop and come back.
And the birds went quiet.
Yeah.
I was on the top of a mountain, and with some Canadians, they're like, "Do you want to hike up the mountain with us with your amigos?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah!"
Let's do it. Hell yeah, let's do it.
And like we were on a little bit of mushrooms, but just like barely any. I don't even think I drank that day, so I was like just. And then it went quiet with the birds.
Yeah, it was crazy. All the bugs went quiet too where we were at.
I have a
Yeah,
I
so
have something for you to
sure.
say. My whole life I have played around with the idea of forgiveness. When I was a Mormon, I considered myself to be a good Mormon, like a full in, all in Mormon. Like I fasted on fast Sundays. I paid an honest tithing. I did all the things. I had the temple recommend. I was honest about my answering of those questions to be worthy because I wanted to be pure.
Yeah.
And so I had this thing that I would do. This is what my level of understanding was at the time. That I would say, I would get down on my knees at night and I would say, all right, Heavenly Father. I would pray to the Heavenly Father in the name of Jesus Christ because that's what I got taught. And I said, what is it that I've done today that Jesus wouldn't have done? And I would just stay and just think or just allow and whatever came to my mind. And it wasn't very long, but a few seconds usually before like the first thing come to my mind. And I would just immediately start expressing my desire to not do that anymore. I said, I'm so sorry that I've done this. And I don't want to be this way. Please help me. And I just, every day, I did that. And I built that character, and that was my Mormon character. I did not masturbate on my mission. Almost all the missionaries around me were masturbating. And I was like always having to try to help them. You can't masturbate on our missions. That's in the rules. I was honest. I was honest in my pursuit of purity. Always. Once I decided that that's what I wanted to do. And what I learned along the way was that that's what I was learning what to do is in that moment right then, what's happening in that prayer. Here I am facing the reality of everything that is. And the reality of everything that is in the presence of a prayer, if I'm really sacred to it, if I'm really, really present, I'm talking to myself. I'm having a conversation with myself. I know that I'm a me, and when I was back then, I didn't know this, but I also know now that I'm the we as well. And so I was hearing back from myself what I actually needed. But I was taking the time to get sensitive enough in prayer. Thank you, Mormonism. Thank you for saving my life. Really beautiful part along the process. But what I was doing in that exact moment right there was I was learning to forgive myself. Forgive myself. And that's what I've learned now is that now as I've taken my awareness inside and I've tapped into true strength instead of all this false empowerment stuff that's around us. Anything on the outside I've learned is false empowerment propping up. And false empowerment falls flat on its face when true strength comes around. True strength always illuminates the darkness effortlessly because light just illuminates darkness. And so if we just learn how to take all of our dark and learn how to add all of our light to it, we finally become all the dark and all the light all at the same time. And now we're one thing. But we're knowing that we're not just one thing. Down here in the bottom part of the vortex where we're all trapped with fear, trying to get through, just one thing down here. But now we understand that we can actually become the we at the same time. So now I'm the we and the me. I'm all of this. And so I know what's happening is when I'm doing things up here, I'm gifting myself in the ass down here. And I've learned how to become more sensitive to this. And so what I want to say about forgiveness for me is this is how we become fluid. This is how we become COZSNUG. We become COZSNUG when we learn how to forgive ourselves. Because we've all been beating ourselves up for a long time. We've all been in the struggle.
Yeah.
So we have a lot to forgive. Are we going to just let go? And are we going to actually forgive? Or are we going to keep hanging on to that stuff? Hanging on to it creates the tension. It keeps us resistant to each other. It keeps us resistant to relating. Forgiveness is a key. It's just a powerful key. We have to learn how to forgive ourselves. And therefore now we know the skill, and we're obviously now automatically forgiving everybody else because it's effortless now that we are a forgiving thing. We've already forgiven ourselves. We're not the one hanging on to it. It's always a story. It's right back to me. If I'm ever having drama in my life, it's because I called it in. Now, am I aware of my impact or not on that drama that I called in? Am I going to talk accountably about this or not? Can I forgive myself for the times that I've done this in the past where I've hurt people? My whole life, I've fucking hurt people. And I haven't wanted to hurt anybody.
Yeah.
Ever. I don't want to hurt people.
Your intention.
But I see my impact. My hell-bent, psychopathic, I'm going to prove love to everybody, damn it. I see the impact of it. My apathy toward their story right then. I don't care if you're a damn Mormon, I'll prove to you that your God's not real.
Mm-hmm.
I have learned to embrace. And I find it just beautiful. To just embrace my whole past and your whole past. All of our past. Because that's the only possible way we can all embrace our future. Right here from the present moment, the place relatability starts, the doorway to love. The doorway. We enter. We're not in love. We don't have love when we're tough loving people and we're just loving people from a distance. If you're not relatable, it's your own damn fault. If I'm not relatable, it's my own damn fault. When am I going to learn how to talk like that? If I'm not getting the love in my life that I want, what is it about me right now, about my vibration? How am I vibrating? Resistant or receptive to those around me? Am I resistant or receptive? Am I forgiving myself or not? Am I fluid with everything or not? I'm forever grateful for the ability to tap into forgiveness because here we are, love constantly emerging. That's what I am, a big ball of light and love constantly emerging. And I forgive. I forgive everyone who's ever hurt me, who's ever not seen me with eyes of dignity, just seen me as their equal. I forgive them. I've forgiven. I've just been on the process of trying to forgive and trying to let go, trying to let go, trying to let go of everybody who tried to transactionalize their relationship with me. We weren't ready. I respect now that we weren't ready to forgive ourselves and to move into something that's more COZSNUG, more relatable. I finally forgiven all of it, and I feel fluid because of it. I feel like there's not one single person you can introduce me to that I'm not going to see myself in, because I know some psychopaths. I know some definitive psychopaths in my world. You all know who you are. The ones who've leaned into it. Well, it's time to let go of your apathy and empower your empathy, because it's the only way we all pop through. That's what I have to say about forgiveness. I love you all so much.
Wow.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank
That was
you.
very profound.
Very profound. Amen.
Yeah, I think we can all relate to give ourselves for something in our lives. That's so important, if I were to go and answer the next one. The other one was a chance I had to seek forgiveness. You know, if I had to seek forgiveness for myself. It's, actions you've taken that you wish you could take back while you're learning and growing. You know, you may hurt people by accident, and you can make amends as best you can, but you do have to forgive yourself, or else you're just going to hold on to it and carry it with you. You're just carrying with you over this thing you can't fix. You're just holding a part of yourself stagnant and not letting it grow.
So true.
Very true.
We all just do it at the pace we want to. We go as slow or as fast as we want to, anytime we want to. It's just our choice, and we keep on propping up destiny like it's a thing, instead of realizing it's choice, guys. It's choice. Choice right now. What do you want your present moment to look like? What do you want your next 10 minutes to look like? Whose choice is it really? When it comes right down to it, we're not aware of the fact that we chose all. But it's all choice. And respecting the choices that others are making, even if they're not consciously aware of their impact, is part of the deal. The part of the bandwidth that we create to be able to be a COZSNUG thing, to be a relatable thing. You got to be able to handle the bandwidth that others bring.
Yeah.
Because it's authentic meeting authentic, and if it's real, that's relatable. If you don't want to meet somebody's real, and we all want to stay in our cocoons, then we're just faking it.
Right.
There ain't no relatability there. We're not COZSNUG yet, and we just keep on bouncing off of each other's belief bubbles that come out of our eyes.
Wow, you are spiritual beings there. Oh, yeah. I guess I am too.
Yes, you are.
You are.
Wow. That was
What
very
time is it?
powerful.
Should we, do we need to get
Yeah, we can talk a little bit more. Can I hear?
It's 8:30ish.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Wow.
Forgot
That was
everybody was
What a
here.
powerful, what a really
That
powerful
was
talk.
extremely healing for me
Thank you.
personally. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you, everyone,
thank
for
you.
being willing
Thank
to be
you,
so
everyone.
vulnerable
Thank you.
and listen, actively listen.
Love you guys.
Yeah. Thank you.
Love you too.
Turtle lizard.
What's up, y'all? Hey, you guys want to say hi before we get off? You're on air.
Oh.
There we
I'm
go.
Carly.
The wizards. What's up, Toaster? Right.
We're gonna take Millie out on a walk.
Hi, you two are little